Next, Punarvasu Nakshatra is represented by these two stars here, Castor and Pollux. It's the heads of the Gemini twins here, and it's very easy to locate in the night sky after Taurus, who have Gemini. And these stars are quite bright. So the zodiac range is from 20 degrees Gemini to 3 degrees of Cancer. The ruling planet for the Dasha system becomes Jupiter in the Vimshottari Dasha system. The motivation is Artha, so it can give quite a lot of abundance here. Vata has the Ayurvedic dosha, the Gana is Deva. That is obviously related to Aditi, the mother goddess. It's very Chara, movable nakshatra. The caste is Vaishya, and the guna is also Svatva. So we see Deva, Sattva, Jupiter as the ruling planet, and Artha, so it can give quite abundance. So the Shakti is then also the power to gain or receive objectives or ability to gain wealth and substances. Now in astronomy, these two stars are called Alpha Geminorium and Beta Geminorium. Castor and Pollux, the Gemini twins, meaning the two who give back the good. This constellation star suggests intellect, sudden fame and honor, sometimes followed by sudden loss or vice versa. So this concept is very important. And we're going to elaborate on this a little bit further in the video and also give examples with charts. The star gives courage, but can be cold and heartless. So I actually want to prove also with this video that Punarvasu and Pushya are actually a pair nakshatra, like Purva Palguni, Uttara Palguni, the Bhadrapadas, the Ashadas, and so on. So this is because another ancient name for Punarvasu Nakshatra is also Aditi, Jaimatri, Jamitra. And the other ancient name for Pushya in the Rig Veda was Tisha, and Tisha means the celestial archer. So we see here Tisha symbolism in ancient days was also related to the bow and quiver of the celestial archer. Another example to pair this nakshatra is obviously because we're dealing with the mother goddess Aditi, and it's all about nourishing and growth. And then we see also in Pushya nakshatra that the symbol is a cow's udder. So receiving the milk of the mother is also this nourishment. So there's different ways to look at it, but according to many Vedic astrologers, this is also a pair nakshatra, with the references to the Rig Veda and also the symbolism of both nakshatras. So another ancient name of Punarvasu Nakshatra, Aditi, and Jaya is very significant here because it also brings victory in a person's life. And Mayatma Karka is actually Mars in Punarvasu here, and my teacher actually called me Jai. Yes, but I don't think he knew my astrological background, but it was just said so by him and received by me. So yes, wonderful. The Sanskrit word is puna, and it means again vasu, to shine, to grow, and to become bright. So the meaning is to restore good again, wealthy again, prosperous again, light again, or the return of the light after the many complications with Ardra Nakshatra and the previous Nakshatra, the teardrop star group, ruled by Shiva or Rudra, so it's quite heavy energies in the previous nakshatra, but also with a very spiritual side. But this one is the return to the light after the storms there. Now, the symbol of Punarvasu is the bow and a quiver with arrows. They're like divine astras or weapons used in ancient times, which magically return after fulfilling their function or mission. So this is again the return to the light or to the home base. It is Punarvasu's function to ensure safe return to the starting point. The quiver of arrows also signifies the stored energy and potential of the native. This signifies the unexpressed energy or unrealized potential of the native. And the bow represents the desires, the drive, and the forward movement with one's spiritual objective. So there's lots of spiritual energy, mother energy, divine energy in this asterism. The alternative symbol of Punarvasu is the house or the abode, and it represents the destination, a place where one can rest and be at peace within. It is associated with the transmigration of the soul in search of a true home to reach the higher realms of consciousness through the experience of rebirth on the earthly plane. Mother Aditi, of whom the gods are born, is the repository of everything. She is goodness, truth, generosity, magnanimity, purity, aristocracy, beauty, and renowned. To start fresh after having once broken off, to start a new life, to come back from a distant land, all these are signified by Punarvasu. Aditi's ability is the power to gain wealth and abundance, and she is the earth goddess of productivity. Aditi is associated with virtues and strives to act nobly. She has 12 sons called Adityas, solar deities, and these Adityas are related to the 12 months of the year and represent the 12 sovereign principles. Because of this, she is worshipped for blessings and protection of children also. So it is considered the most auspicious nakshatra in the sky. So if you do not have too many afflictions on this and the yogas are in a pure state, this can give enormous wealth in a person's life. But also spiritual wealth within. Aditi is mentioned nearly 80 times in the Rig Veda. And one of these verses is Daksha sprung from Aditi and Aditi from Daksha. So the Theosophists see this as a reference to the eternal cycle of rebirth of the same divine essence and divine wisdom. In contrast, however, and as many devotees and people and studiers of scriptures see it, according to Shiva Purana and the Bhagavat Purana, it suggests that Aditi is the wife of sage Kashyap, and she gave birth to the Adityas, such as Indra, Surya, but she also gave birth to Vamanadev, which was the dwarf avatar of Vishnu or Krishna. It's a very interesting story, actually. I can't recall which canto it is, but I think maybe the 6th canto or the 8th canto. Yeah, in the Bhagavat Purana or Srimad Bhagavatam, you find the story of Vamanadev, and there Aditi is thus mentioned. One of the most benefic of the 27 lunar mansions, its influence is good for making life changes such as career or residential moves. So we see these natives, especially in 4th house, 10th house relationships, making huge career stunts, losing career, becoming bankrupt, rising in career again. And so on, moving homes, having foreign homes, coming back home. You see all these things. This is related to the symbol of the bows who come back to the origin. Punarvasu is a power springboard of self-expression, encouraging the development of latent talents. Natives tend to be interested in philosophy, religion, and develop deep insights into the meaning of life. They are very likable, they are very charming, and because of their forgiving ways, others seem to forgive them easily too. They love to travel, but just as the arrow is returned to the quiver, so must these natives have a home base with family to return to. And you see that a lot. They come back to the home base or the country of origin. Punarvasu is related to all kinds of practices meant to foster self understanding and enlightenment. The interplay of mental and emotional gives rise to a very active, profound, and inspired imagination. Punarvasu natives thus excel in arts like poetry and writing and have a photographic memory. Punarvasu always tend to fail or not get far in their first attempt at any pursuit, but they succeed if they try the second time. That is why Punarvasu translates into being good again. And therefore, you see lots of scientists with Punarvasu positions, and or the natives, they love science because scientists, they have to fail in order to succeed and come to the right conclusions of the experiment. Now, what I found here is a very interesting form of Ganesh related to Punarvasu Nakshatra. It's called Lakshmi Ganapati. Is the 12th lord of Ganesh in his 32 forms. In this form, Lord Ganesh sits flanked by his consorts Siddhi and Buddhi, here on both sides. Goddess Siddhi is responsible for achievement and Goddess Buddhi is responsible for wisdom. Worshipping this form of Ganesh is believed to give wealth and wisdom. Punarvasu Nakshatra is not suitable when it is associated with marriage or marriage houses. Punarvasu Nakshatra is known to resettle one's marriage and may lead to a remarriage because of this returning energy there. However, realized Punarvasu natives also have the natural ability to restore old marriages or relationships after losses or of separation. In the same token, to rebuild a career after loss. So when losing a home, they find a new home. Losing career, they go find a new career and actually attain a better position. This is also due to the Vasudha Prapana Shakti. Now, if the 8th or the 12th lord or any planet in Punarvasu in the 8th and 12th house without malefic influences, then there is a possibility that the native may undergo near-death experiences or attain final moksha after this life. Punarvasu Nakshatra brings about the return of energy and vitality. So in research, we see that many people with Punarvasu Nakshatra related to the 8th house or the 12th house had near-death experiences. Yeah, so if the 7th lord or malefics in the 7th house in Punarvasu lead to second marriage, and what is quite interesting is that if the 5th lord or the 5th house is associated with Punarvasu without malefic influences and good benefic yogas, then these natives have highly distinguished children, like then the 12 Adityas of goddess Aditi. Now, Punarvasu Nakshatra is a Chara Nakshatra and it is associated with traveling, frequent voyages, overseas connection, overseas work, overseas homes. If the 12th house of 12th lord is associated with Punarvasu, can suggest long pilgrimages also, with the possibility of staying in a foreign ashram practicing studies and celibacy. If associated with the 10th lord or 10th house, then the native may travel due to his work or work in foreign countries. And associated with the 4th lord or 4th house, this may indicate that the native has a second home or an overseas location. Bhagavan Sri Ram, here he had his moon in Jupiter in Punarvasu, I believe. And so, yeah, when we see his life story, then his wife Sita was kidnapped. You see Rahu in the sixth house, yeah, the conqueror, great enemy. But eventually he returned to Ajodha, to his home base with his wife, and rescued her with the help of Hanuman and others. So quite interesting chart here to study. Who do we have here? With Mars and Ketu and Chitra. This is Nicholas Tesla here. He had his Venus and Sun in Punarvasu, so a quite revered scientist, obviously, in the third house here. Who is this? Okay, yeah, this person here through the eighth house, also seen as his Ketu in Punarvasu, and this became a big lottery winner. Very interesting here, the connection between the second and the eighth house, with Ketu in the water sign of Cancer in Punarvasu Nakshatra. So eighth house is also gifts, charity, inheritances, and sudden surprises. And who is this? Oh, Donald Trump here with Mars and Maga in the first house, Rahu in the 10th house, 10th Lord, and the 12th house. Here, Venus in Punarvasu, Saturn in Punarvasu. And Donald Trump actually filed, I think, 3, 4, 5 times for bankruptcy before he actually became this big United States icon and president. And he actually, on his inauguration, he was dancing with his wife, and there was this song, yes, I just did it my way. So we see there's also this concept in Punarvasu. They kind of have their own ways, but they have to fail quite sometimes in order to achieve the desired goals. Who is this? Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And yeah, he had Venus and Mercury here in Punarvasu. So he was a German bodybuilder who then became the leading statesman of California, a governor of California. So we see these people gaining quite something in life after going through the necessary challenges. And also the scientists, Bill Gates here has, he just has his ascendant in Punarvasu in the first house. So this is quite interesting. We're coming at the end here, and I took these verses out of the Rig Veda just to share it for some extra nectar. So let us with tuneful skill proclaim these generations of the gods, that one may see them when these hymns are chanted in a future age. These Brahmanaspati produced with blast and smelting like a smith existence in an earlier age of gods. From non-existence sprang existence in the earliest age of gods. From non-existence sprang thereafter were the regions born. This sprang from the productive power. Earth sprang from the productive power. The regions from the earth were born. Daksha was born of Aditi, and Aditi was Daksha's child. For Aditi, O Daksha, she who is thy daughter, was brought forth. After her were the blessed gods born, sharers of immortal life. When ye, O gods, in yonder deep, close clasping one another stood, thence as of dancers from your feet a thickening cloud of dust arose. When, O ye gods, like Yatis, ye caused all existing things to grow, then ye brought Surya forward, who was lying hidden in the sea. 8 are the sons of Aditi, who from her body sprang to life. With 7 she went to meet the gods, she cast Martanda far away. So with her 7 sons Aditi went forth to meet the earlier age. She brought Martanda thitherward to spring to life and die again. It's a very beautiful verse in the Rig Veda with a lot of Aditi being mentioned here. Then we also have a chant, the Gayatri mantra, Om Adityo Dmaditri Trantariksham Ditrimata Sapita Saputra Vishvideva Aditi Panchayana Aditriyatam Ditriyantivam. And then the Punarvasu Nakshatra Vedic mantra, Om Aditi Jo Ditir Antriksham Ditir Mata Sapita Saputra Vishwadeva Aditi Panchaya Aditi Yatam Aditri Rajnitvam Om Aditya Namaha. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said, the website is now live and our Instagram account is live, and thanks to your support and enthusiasm, we keep growing this project, and I will see you in the next video.